Okay. When last we saw the Trollskull 6, you teamed up with Kaith after leading the packed army out of Lion's Arch and across a several days long journey that took you through the various lands of southern Kryta, eventually leading to a steep uphill climb into the raised desert highlands of the Silverwastes. Kaith and the Trollskull 6 set out ahead to do some scouting to try and find a safe passage that the army could traverse through on foot that would eventually lead them into the heart of the Maguma jungle. We engaged in the first part of a skill challenge. You overcame a sudden rock slide, the tedium of a maze of twisting redstone canyons, a mirage in a wide salt flat, some navigation issues as Kaith grew more and more uneasy, until eventually, at the second night, you found yourselves camping in what appeared to be the remains of a ruined centaur village. You, oddly enough, discovered a cave in the deep recesses of which some bioluminescent fungi made their home. And upon exploring that cave the next day, you were surprised to encounter some sentient sporling type creatures who had a very strange method of communication and attempted to communicate with you in a way that did not easily make sense. But you were able to extricate yourselves with grace, and you brought no harm to the creatures, and they in turn did not harm you. And so we find ourselves now at the dawning of the third day of your travels across this barren wasteland. Trollskull 6, as you rise this morning, you find Kaith sort of standing calm and quiet at the edge of the high stone sort of escarpment that you camped on, looking out over the ruins of the camp and down westward in the direction that this valley continues. Just standing and kind of watching the sun rise. How would you like to proceed?
Kate, how many more days, like in this little canyon, desert place, do we have until we reach our objective? I know it took us like a week to get here, right? So we got just a couple more days, or is this like another week still?
This is as far as I've traveled personally. I myself have never been to the deep recesses of the Maguma. But the region itself, as far as I'm aware, is not terribly wide. I would expect, if everything goes smoothly, we may find our quarry by the end of the day.
Oh,
No
fantastic.
kidding.
Okay, good to know.
We've made fairly good time.
All right. Yeah. I was worried we were going to have to eat Galatar or something. But that is reassuring.
That's not enough to feed us all.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
would
Right,
be the
I
first
had
person
dibs
you
on
should kill to
Brina.
eat.
Yeah, you can fucking try, Alexa.
A lot of, I bet if you
Oh,
like slow
But-
roaster,
Brina would be all muscle though. I feel like it would just be really tough.
that's why you have
Tough
to
to
slow
eat.
slow roast.
Slow
it.
roast.
It'd fall right off the bone after a while.
Tracks.
The next 3 hours of walking is debating who would be the best to eat under the given
I think it
circumstance.
should be good in the stew. Gives the meat a chance to break down, you know?
You know, Bertie, I feel like you would be good to eat probably. You know, you're sort it's a smaller portion, but I feel like the meat would be really tender.
He's full of piss and
So
vinegar.
sweet.
It's true, I do have a rather fat ass. It's very supple.
Mm-mm.
He's a
My
thick
bet
boy.
is on Alexa. You're
Alexa?
bite-sized.
Yeah. For you, maybe.
Just like one bite.
Like an
Got you.
appetizer.
Yes.
Go for
An hors d'oeuvres.
go for Kitri.
A
It's like
horse
eating a salad or
divorce.
something, right?
Yeah, Kitri is just like a piece of celery.
Oh.
Wait, this is weird. Anyways.
Cassiming.
Literally taking it out. I did want to, if the Keith thinks this will be the day we encounter something, then when we start off the day, I do want to cast Gift of Alacrity on myself and also on Kala.
Okay. Yeah. So Keith just kind of slowly starts to walk away from the camp as you guys start to break
She
down
does.
whatever small things you had laid out, not in the mansion.
Hmm.
And you walk for the first couple of hours with back and forth discussion of who would be the tastiest and how properly to prepare a party mate in the event of starvation. At one point, just to kind of humor you as you guys walk along, you find that Keith has sort of like propped herself up against a rock and is just kind of like waiting for you guys to catch up. And as you near, she sort of like casually turns her head and just says, "Well, just be sure that if we encounter anything untoward on the path, that you keep those thick cheeks from clapping. We'd hate to announce our arrival."
I'll do what I can for you, okay, but
Continues to walk.
no promises here, you know.
If don't humor him, it will only make it worse.
I feel like I'd probably be served like a birdie tartare, right? It really doesn't need much, you know. It's just good as is.
Coarse
you know?
salt, black pepper. Yeah.
Just see like
so
two mounds
juicy
on a
already,
plate.
you know.
Like soft rolling hills.
You had a chance to end this, Ryan.
I did.
You
The fault
did.
is mine.
You did.
We said, sure, we'll go.
The rising sun begins to heat the arid lands around you, which
Piss.
at one point you kind of turn a sharp corner and you find it opening into another one of these wide sandy plains with like shallow dunes stretching out across it for a few miles. As the tremendous heat starts to build and wear you down partway through this crossing, you notice that there is a cluster of small, very ragged canvas tents set up off to one side in the shade of a large, isolated rock that sort of juts up out of the sands, like Pride Rock style. And it seems to kind of be on your route. And so as you approach, you see movement and familiar small shapes, 3.5 feet high, grayish, kind of patchy fur, long tails, and one of them comes skittering up to you, has what looks like a bandana kind of tied underneath the chin, and a large pair of goggles wrapped in like a tight leather and around their face. It also wears a thick kind of leather, like a bandolier across their chest, like a baldric. And you see them kind of like scurrying down the dune, their little tail kind of flapping, the rat-like tail kind of wiggling out behind them. And you recognize this now closer to you as a skrit,
Yeah.
which you have encountered before when you first took possession of Trollskull Manor. This one kind of stops about maybe 60 feet from you and kind of moves their head about, obviously kind of taking your party in and judging whether or not you pose a threat. And eventually they more slowly kind of approach in a very wobbly kind of walk, almost bow-legged down this loose sandy hill.
Is this Meepak's cousin?
And it says,
Meepak.
Hello,
Oh.
hello, travelers. I
Hey.
am Kritsta of Picaroon Scratch. It It is a long time since people passed this way. What do you here? What is your business?
We're trying to get to the jungle.
Oh, the jungle is a dangerous place. We do not go there.
Hmm.
That's a
Would you like
wise choice for
Point
once.
us in the direction
Yeah.
of the jungle. Or
It is west of here.
cool, man.
Wrong. Not
Hey, do
wrong.
you know?
Shockingly accurate.
Earth. We do not normally come to this dry top. Our scratch is lower beneath the ground.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
It's,
You
what,
want some
what do you-
food?
We
We're gonna
come to the
offer him some
surface
meat.
Script.
to
If
forage.
they follow us, Kala, I swear to God.
Call
We
it
gather,
doubles.
devour
Follow us.
eggs. We have groups of hunters.
Hmm.
Huh.
Is there something like in the forest recently? Have you heard big tremors or seen strange creatures like our friends here? And he'll kind of point to Kitri and Kith pass through, perhaps?
Oh no. We do not normally come to this dry top. We stay below, in the dark lands,
So we're just up here hunting then?
gathering eggs. Yes, food.
Okay.
They
Hey,
kind of like nervously kind of brush sand from their fur.
real quick, do you know a guy named Meepak?
No,
Yellow corn? Does that ring a
Huh?
bell? Yellow corn?
I don't think they all know each
I mean,
other.
like,
Kinda
I
like looks
hate
at you
them, but wow, that's
curiously.
racist.
We had one big tunnel underneath the whole jungle.
They don't all know each other, Brina.
I just kind
I
of miss
forgot
Meepak.
Alexa was racist against
Oh,
Grit.
yeah, it's a cultural thing.
Oh, it's been too long.
The culture is racism.
What was your name again, friend?
I am Krichta.
Krichta.
Meepak was
K-R-I
a lot easier to
apostrophe
Oh, I'm not gonna try.
HTA.
It's fine. I always do phonetic spellings. That's not.
This one's not far
Well,
off.
What do
Krichta.
you do? What do you do, Krichta?
Krichta leads Picaroon Scratch.
Oh, you're the leader.
So is Meepak.
Come.
Oh.
Scrit
Yeah.
in shade. Too hot.
And she starts to skitter back up the dune towards the shadow of this overhang.
Sure, yeah. Huh?
Wow,
We
Christian
could
may
use a
be
break,
the most
right?
together script we've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's
Could
impressive.
take a little break
Never
if y'all want.
encountered an actual village of them.
Their brain power is like a collective sort of thing. So as an individual, they're really stupid, but the more they get together, it's more of a mob mentality and not a high intelligence.
Like a hive mind.
Not
Yeah.
even that high
Yeah,
of
like
an
a
intelligence.
Hive
To be fair, humans are kind of the same. They just kind of congregate, and then a lot of people just go with whatever people tell them to do. You know?
But then it's even kind of worse.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm sure Kala will become their god. They'll offer us great treats and gold, and
That's not a bad
That'll be good.
idea.
So, for this part of the skill challenge,
Oh.
this is a
Oh.
skill challenge. Oh,
as
no.
you approach the Skrit encampment, you can each make a persuasion, intimidation, or deception check to try to influence the Skrit to help you in some way. If you fail, the result that could potentially lead to exhaustion is that you spend your sort of short rest time out in the heat rather than in the comfortable shade of a
no.
tent and without
Well, that-
refilling water skins and things like that.
If I offer them some of the dried meat that I have, does that help?
I would say in this instance, no,
Okay.
because they are up on the surface to collect eggs.
I'm not trying to jinx us, but we are all above a 20 so far.
Mm.
You
I
said
rolled a
we
20.
could do persuasion, deception, or
Intimidation.
My intimidation is
Oh.
better, but I wouldn't intimidate script.
I can only
appreciate
intimidate
that.
the script.
Well,
Um,
I'll just do the nicest thing I can.
should I be true to character, Trollskull? You do raise a good point. I would not fight the script. I roll
Alexa
a
is
intimidation.
begrudgingly here and like just casting side eye.
You have a plus 11 to intimidation.
Mhm.
God damn, Shorty.
I don't know why I didn't.
I don't
send
use
to,
it enough.
PTT. That's really weird. I'm gonna roll some things just to see if it. I reloaded this stuff.
Hey, you really
Yeah,
should
it's-
threaten to burn people more, Jimmy.
Cool.
At the beginning of the campaign, you really threatened a lot of individuals.
Okay.
Spell it out.
So I need Kitri and Kala to make Constitution saving throws. Kitri's is a very low. It's a 5 DC. Kala with a 12 will be a 10 DC. All right. So whatever it is you're trying to do for them, whether it's just your size, navigating around this this tent or this little like mini camp or something, it being too large and clumsy, or whether you just happen to say the wrong thing at the wrong time, the script don't quite take to you. Maybe it's just your predatory nature and appearance, but you end up spending about an hour sitting out in the sun just kind of waiting. So you take 1 point of exhaustion.
We make her sit in the car. No.
Windows up.
Kitri passes the DC 5 save, so Kitri does not suffer exhaustion.
And I think Brina chose to go with the persuasion instead of her intimidation.
I rolled both to see what would happen. And intimidation was better. But you can make
Not really
an
how that
argument.
works.
No, it's not. I went with intimidation first because it's better, period. And I do think she would be intimidating by sheer
My
size.
D&D Beyond isn't sending to the VTT either.
I had to reload mine.
And I
I've had to do that a
reloaded.
couple
Did
of
you reload D&D Beyond or the VTT?
D&D Beyond.
All right, let me try that. Hold on.
Yeah, in my other games, I keep having to reload my D&D Beyond page.
Same. After like jumping back and forth.
Like a string.
Yeah.
I can roll a con save even if you want me to. You said that's not really how that works. Okay, that's fair.
Well, you rolled intimidation first, so I'm assuming
did.
you intimidate them. So what does that look like for Brina? Like, how are you
think Brina's
intimidating the Skrit into helping you?
I think she's just too tall. That's the thing, is intimidating into helping. I don't know if she could really pull that off. Just intimidating and them feeling as if they have to, perhaps. I think she's just simply too large to say no to.
Okay.
Do with that
So
what you will.
the rest of you convince them to share some supplies with you, to direct you to like nearby water sources that they might know about. You can refill your skins. Some of you may question them about like the safest routes in the immediate area to avoid dangers. Those that fail the save spend a short rest sitting out in the heat. You do learn that not too far from this location, there is a very large tunnel. They describe it as sort of a cross between a tunnel and a cave. Their very limited vocabulary makes it a little difficult for them to accurately convey their meaning, but you gather that there is a large underground passage near here that they often use to traverse the desert to stay out of the sun. And they tell you that inside is a very shallow stream of fresh drinkable water. They say they haven't used it in several months, but historically, you know, it's there, and it is a route that they know of. They kind of give you general directions on how to get there.
That's very kind of them.
I will say Kaith, throughout all of this, just kind of stands aloof. As you guys get near the village, she just sort of slinks into the shade beneath the rock and sort of disappears among the tents and isn't seen until you are ready to roll out. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you resume your journey?
Well, tell me, Krichta, you said that the jungle is a dangerous place. Have you all had any issues with dangers reaching this far out?
Oh, yes. Yes. Very dangerous.
Do you care to elaborate on the subject, Krichta?
Big meanies. Big dangerous meanies with sharp teeth, thorny vines, patrols, hungry
Patrols?
creatures.
Patrols.
Yeah, patrols. Gosh. All right. Well, that does help, actually. Well, I wish we could. This is where Birdie's deception roll goes in. I wish I had something. I really appreciate you giving us shelter here. I wish I had something more valuable that I could give to you, but I hope this will do. And he just pulls out a little bundle of sage. These are rare herbs from our edge of the world, and I hope you will accept them as repayment. If you chew them, they will bring health and good fortune upon you. Rolled a 26 deception, so if I need to roll another, I will. But
One you rolled later was a 31.
the second one I rolled was a 31. So
Her eyes just get,
Yeah.
cartoonishly large, and
yeah.
she's overawed by it, takes it reverently, and packs it into her little bandolier.
Don't eat them all in one place. All right, later, kids.
Here's
You guys
Struggio.
depart. You see Kala sitting on a rock outside, a couple of Skrit with little spears, just kind of watching her suspiciously.
Did put her in the long car. Brita apologizes for her judgmental and short-sighted oversight, generalization about the Skrit people. Not all Skrit know each other. Sorry. I miss Meatpack. That's all.
Yeah, we all do, buddy. We all do. Yeah, look. Across the breeze of the desert we hear
The whisper on the desert
The
wind.
gentle caress in your ear.
As you guys gather up to head out, Kaith steps out of the shade and rejoins you. It's not long. Heading further west, you finally kind of reach the end of this. Just a couple more miles. You reach the end of these wide, sandy flats. And it returns to the sort of scrub-covered, stony landscape that you're used to. A little bit more shade from the high canyon walls. And after just a couple more hours of traveling, you find this enormous tunnel-like opening at the end of a narrow canyon, where it looks like an ancient river had kind of carved its way through the porous stone. It's fairly wide, it's 30, 35 feet wide, and at least 15 to 20 feet high in most places, though the ceiling is uneven. It could certainly accommodate the packed forces and would get them out of the sun and potentially away from prying eyes for supposedly quite some distance. You do see a parallel path that kind of snakes up the side of the canyon wall and kind of moves in what looks like the same direction, but it would leave you exposed to the sun and be overhead. So the choice on how to proceed is yours.
What a split place to be.
Is there?
Is this gonna be like Finding Nemo, where they're like, "Don't swim through the trench," and then we swim through the trench and get attacked by jellyfish?
Could be.
It's a really scary.
I mean,
I think that's kind of D&D.
Is there a way, kind of looking at the ground around here, to see which of these paths is traveled more? Like which one is more heavily worn kind of thing, or kind of like wider, you know?
I would say looking at these, the upper path is more narrow.
Yeah.
It's still like, maybe 10 to 15 feet wide in most places. But neither are footpaths. It's just like wider areas where plants have not overgrown. The tunnel itself is I think more generally kind of
Pardon me.
level,
Shit.
because it seems to have been made by water.
All right. I mean, I vote for the one that we could use to get the forces through, right? Like, we don't want an army walking through this narrow path. Also gives them some reprieve from the sun, right? That's good for fighting.
Yeah,
I
that
guess if we
makes sense.
also go through the tunnel, if there's anything nesting out in there that's particularly nasty, we'd have to fight it before the pack does.
Yeah, and we'll clear it out for them.
Let's keep a lookout for any glowing fungi.
Yeah, for real. I didn't
We don't
realize
need
that'd
to
be such a
repeat
problem.
again.
That was not my fault. I was Joy for but a moment.
Indeed.
I mean, it was really nice. I felt warm and connected.
I will never feel as truly happy as I did.
I guess the only concern with that path is we probably should be more careful. It seems like if there are going to be thorn people in the forest, they're probably more likely to be where it's damp and shaded than in the dry arid place. But if we could clear them out, it would be much better for the pack.
Also, might be nice to get a little taste of what's coming. If we can stumble across a patrol and
An
get 'em.
appetizer of sorts.
Appetizer, perhaps.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if those thorn things are tied into Kith's friend or if they are some other creature entirely.
Birdie just turns and yells into the tunnel, "Brina is hungry!"
It's so
Well, now everyone knows.
funny.
Echoes.
I'm going to revoke my punch card. I would never. I might.
I will seriously mind freak you if you revoke the punch card. That is
Don't
binding.
freak me.
That was sworn between gods and men right there.
And without
freak
warning,
me.
there is a of sound, this burst of sound and motion from deep within this cavern.
Oh no!
And for a hot second, you guys are completely blinded and you, put your hands up to cover your face as millions of bats just explode out of this cave at this tremendous echo and start tearing their way into the sky.
That's hysterical.
It takes
Well,
2 or 3
beat a
minutes
little.
for the cloud to kind of pass over you.
Oof.
Now, I
Welcome
will
to
say,
Scarlet's family.
good thing we got that out of the way before going in.
It would have just been sleeping.
Yeah, we just wouldn't have had to deal with them at all.
Yeah.
Well, now they're not. So
Now they're gonna go
problem
die.
solved.
That could
Yeah,
come
you
back
might have just
later.
destroyed an entire ecosystem. You should really feel bad about
wouldn't
that.
be the first time, honestly.
No, we're pretty good at that. That's true. That's true. That's our secondary ammo, I guess.
Several species have gone extinct over the course of this campaign.
Alright, so for this section of the skill
Choices.
challenge,
Ooh.
passing through the tunnel, you can either make a stealth check to avoid disturbing bats and other vermin and insects that live in the tunnel.
Do we get disadvantage on that naturally now?
I love that this is the start
Yes.
to the stealth one.
You do, actually.
Brina's
You can make
hungry!
a stealth check at disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Or you
We
can
cleared
make a
out all the
survival
bats.
check.
Yeah, now the rest know we're coming too.
Is
Well,
this
hold on,
survival?
hold on.
Everything for a very long way.
We cleared out the bats, sir. There's nothing to be stealthy from. I
Don't
would
try
argue
and
to
talk
be
me
at
out of
an
this. She
160 feet
advantage.
chose
of you.
this path.
Okay, alright, that's fair.
Yeah.
Is survival straight roll or
Survival straight roll, because you're using the survival to find paths
man.
across uneven floor and kind of loose stones.
Fucking
Right.
tracks.
Would I be able
Right.
to cast pass without trace?
Oh, now hold on. That will change my
I
roll
would
here.
say that won't affect this because you're not just traveling for 1 hour.
Okay, so I won't use it then.
Okay.
Oh, guys, we are not good at this, huh?
Oh, I need to make a stealth check.
We have
Well, I
found.
did have advantage on my ability checks until somebody
Uh.
Okay.
Oh
Holly, you're good.
God.
Brina, you're good. Alexa. So Alexa 1 and 2. Alright. You guys need to make con saves. And
Wait,
with-
could this have been survival or stealth?
Yes.
Can I
If you'd
just
rather
add
roll
my?
survival. Yeah,
Can I
if you
just
want to use
add
that die
the
roll.
survival modifier?
I need to
Yeah.
roll and Birdie does. 13.
Sorry. Yes.
Well, I'm pretty
Good
good
luck,
at
Charlie.
con, so
Thank you, Keetri.
15.
Alright. This math is weird. So Alexa 1 and 2 were under 10, so their DC is 15.
Okay, yeah.
A2
A2
makes
passed. Yep.
it. Yeah, so A1 you take 1 point of exhaustion. Keetri rolled a 19. So Keetri, go ahead and make a con save, but the DC is 5. So you're probably fine. Bertie.
Rolled a 13. DC's a
DC
10.
is 10.
Rolled a
You
15.
pass. Keetri's passed.
I like
I
that
rolled
sliding
an
scale. That's
8,
interesting.
So the DC
I love
is 15, is that correct?
Yes, Altar, if it's under
Okay.
10, over 5 is a 15
Let me
DC.
double check, because I rolled with advantage because of foresight, but I want to double check to make sure that is advantage on saving throws too.
Hmm.
Okay, it is, because my first one was a nat 1, but the second one's a 6, which gives me a total of 15.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled real low.
What's your con modifier?
My con save's plus 10 now, even without blades on, because I'm proficient in con and I have a +4, plus my proficiency bonus, so it's plus 10 now. Plus
Fantastic.
15 to maintain spells while in blades on.
Yeah. Get fucked. Alright, so I think that's everybody. Yeah. It's a lot of weird math, and it's just like I have a little table. But yeah, so that's one of you got exhaustion? Just
Yes,
Alexa number
just me.
1? Okay, so that's another success. It's all successes generally in the skill challenge.
Oh right, I forgot that we have to pass the overall. So there's another.
Yeah.
It's not. This is not just individual.
I think after you passed the 4th, it became impossible to fail the challenge.
Mm.
All right, so let's see, where are we? It takes a little longer than 2 hours of traversing through this tunnel before you come across the beginnings of a shallow but swift-flowing stream that forms at your feet and begins kind of running down a slight downhill grade, continuing west through the tunnel. Eventually, after a couple more hours of following it, which is a long time to be underground, you find that the tunnel exits and the stream runs out of it down into a steep decline into a very narrow ravine. Stopping at the mouth of the cave, Kaith just turns and kind of gestures in that direction and says, "This stream should lead downward into the jungle. We just need to find a large enough space to set up a long-term camp for the Pact."
Okay. Easier said than done, right? Do you or maybe Kala have any ideas as to where we could find that?
Right now, you're basically like at the mouth of a cave, and as you step out, there are giant cliff walls to your left and right. It's maybe 30 feet wide, and they just go up for maybe 60, 70 feet.
Petrie
You're
will
just in the narrow canyon.
I
This is a
mean,
flash
turn into
flood
like a she'll
hazard.
turn into like a sparrow or a small
Okay.
bird that can fly and fly up to the top,
Yeah.
just to look over the side of the canyon walls. And I guess since we're trying to find a place to camp, essentially like being able to see a greater distance, is there anywhere that looks like we'd be able to like move towards to get a safe place to stop?
Yes. So the first thing you notice is that as you break the plane of the top of this canyon, the top of the rocks is not flat. It's not perfectly flat, like kind of like what it looked like from a distance. You see that there are like formations that kind of stand out jaggedly, almost like a broken mouthful of teeth, just sort of angled every which way. Clearly very old. You know, you're familiar with stones and how they erode, and these have been long weathered over time. Looking west, you can see what looks like a crack in the earth between these more or less flat mesa tops that kind of wends its way between these jagged formations of stone, and it just kind of continues west like a tear in a sheet of paper. But the higher you go, you start to make out not so much the shape of trees as much as the impression of dark, deep greenery far at the horizon, at the edge of your vision. Flying higher still, you see that all along the horizon going north and south, you see this sort of dark edge of greenery, but there are places where the sort of reddish yellow and some gray of the stone seems to kind of break away in larger spaces, almost like the wide sandy flats that you've crossed. Almost like someone has broken a cookie in half, and there are just like big jagged edges to these canyon lands where large like shelves of empty stone sit kind of overlooking the jungle, and your winding canyon seems to lead in the direction of that edge where plenty of those spaces exist. If that makes sense.
So yeah, she'll fly back and relay that to the rest of the group and get a sense of where they'd like to go.
Whoa. Somebody just rolled a lot of dice. Did I hear that? Why did that? My ears? There were so many dice that somebody just rolled a fuck ton of dice. I heard.
Ghost
Seriously?
dice.
Ryan, I'm looking at you because I
rolled
thought
no
somebody.
dice.
I thought the rock slide was coming or something like.
I shook
That
my
was-
pin, but I had my mic
No,
muted.
no,
Was
it
it
was
the
just-
D&D Beyond
This is
sound?
D&D Beyond dice. Like somebody rolled like 10d6 or
I
something.
think it was a delay. You're full of
That's
shit,
Yeah,
Canfield.
I did
crazy.
not
You're
roll
freaking
anything.
out.
It could have been because I've rolled several times in a row earlier to try and get it to figure out if it was sending it to the VTT or not, and maybe it was a delay.
Maybe it
So I
just
didn't
like
do anything.
lagged. That's crazy. I was like, holy shit.
That's really funny.
The rocks fall, everyone dies.
Basically.
This is a flash flood hazard, the tunnel that we're in right now, for the record.
Thanks,
Do we
safety.
think it rains out here though?
You-
What do we think the average annual precipitation?
All it takes is a little bit. There's already stream. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, Brina defers to the group judgment.
Well, I think we should go up and to the right probably. If we go out of here and then just take a right, it seems right to me, right? Yeah. We're all in agreement then.
Are we camping? We want them to camp
Don't worry,
Not
guys.
here.
I'll lead the way. I don't have
So
a
we
great
are-
mind palace picture of where we are right now, to be honest.
Camping tonight? We're not going to
So,
arrive?
let me see if I can do this on Foundry.
So I'm thinking, so we're at the cave came out of the ground.
We came out.
and
of the
we
ground,
have 30 feet on
There's-
either side of us.
walls to the
Keitri
right and
just-
left of us.
Flew up above all of it, scoped it
Right.
out. We need to, and beyond this last little bit of canyon is open jungle.
Mm.
Well, that's kind of an oxymoron, open jungle.
So
But there's
our-
part of the jungle where there's open land that we can then
And what
build.
time of day are we talking about at this point? Because we were with the script for a while, and then it was a couple hours in the cave, right?
Right now it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 4.
That's earlier than I was thinking too.
But do these canyon walls extend all the way to the jungle? Or is this like, if we
We're at
walk
the
a little bit, we'll kind
end.
of reach the plateau, like ground level, and be able to, go up and down from there? Okay.
Si bueno.
As long as the enemy doesn't have archers.
I
we'll
mean,
be
we
fine.
got to get to higher ground regardless.
It's very important.
We
to
need
have
more
high
open ground to
Yeah.
set up a camp.
Yeah. Open ground, high ground. Because we're supposed to be overlooking something, yeah?
Yeah, I'd imagine we get a much better view.
So
of it.
how wrong are we, Ryan?
In Foundry, I've kind of like scribbled on
Yeah.
the map here.
You're actually in the middle of an
Appreciate
ocean.
So
Need a
you've
visual
got.
reference.
Ooh, okay.
Can I move this? Yeah. You got the cave on the right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And this is like where we
Okay.
enter.
This here is where you're exiting.
Yes.
Okay.
We've gone underground. We're now coming out from underground.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and looking west, Kitri can see this sort of winding line of the canyon that you're in. I guess I can type. Hang on a minute. Yeah, so like up
Your
here is
text.
a plateau. Up here is a plateau. The canyon kind of winds between these, and there's on top there's just big jagged rock formations kind of dotting around and interspersed by flatter areas. It's kind of barren. Looking westward, she can see the jungle all along like the western periphery, just barely, because it's pretty far away.
Hmm.
But she
We're in
can
the
tell that
gorge.
like the canyons kind of follow the super swoopy curly lines, and there's like a lower section of like shelf that extends a little further in places, so you can see like there are big scoops where the mace has kind of been pulled away or eroded out, and there's like flat spaces overlooking the jungle.
And so those are like,
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, I was like, we want to exit here,
Yeah.
and then you were right. I hate admitting that fucking Birdie was right. We exit and go right.
Alex was
Perfect.
right here. This was not,
Perfect.
Birdie did not know. But no. So we totally should exit and to the right, so we have a good overlook.
Up and to the right.
One of these days, you all will get on board with the fact that I'm a natural born leader, and I'm almost never wrong. So onward.
Never when Ellen Keel has to whip you in front of everybody.
I'm a reformed man, Alexa. I served my time, and I am rehabilitated. So.
Served your time, yes. Rehabilitated.
Which is more than I can say for some of us in this group who did not serve their time for various crimes and prison sentences.
Doesn't sound like something a good leader would say, now does it? Trying to throw his subordinates under the bus? I mean,
Alas, we all
it's
have
okay,
our
Betty.
flaws.
There's always room for growth, and that's what I appreciate most about you.
We all have our flaws. Some of us, it's our physical characteristics, and he kind of keeps walking.
Some of us look ugly.
It's nice that he can be
as
open
he
about his
marches forward
insecurities
with a
these
small
days.
clap of cheeks.
Fat ass echoing in the distance.
Just like throughout, reverberating off the canyon walls.
Jesus Christ.
Each
So we
step.
are traveling through the canyon. Is that our
Yes.
plan?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think
Right,
so. Out and to the right.
I'm just saying.
Or
Prepare.
actually, left might be a bigger space for the boys, for our troops.
Just like a general sketch, so you guys know what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Yeah.
Bring the boys home. those lines are
Proud to
telling
be a Tyrion. No, guys, I've just had one
shit
glass of
posting
wine.
already.
I promise, I am not tipsy. This is just like, I'm swinging for
Just
the
in the
fences
mood for a
tonight.
shit post is all. Don't worry about it. Itching. Okay, yeah, let's traverse through the canyon. Surely nothing can go wrong.
So you guys start heading down the downward slope into this very steep kind of narrow canyon. You follow it for the better part of an hour, maybe a little more even. It's kind of hard to tell because the sun very quickly kind of leaves your visual area overhead, although the sky is clear.
Flash floods happen without.
I control weather.
Brina, it is. There is not a cloud in the sky. It is not in a flash
a
flood
rock
right
slide. Oh, what now?
now. Typically,
We're
those
pinned.
have to happen like after rain, don't they?
What?
Keith says,
Rockman.
Or repeated reverberations.
there are a variety of dangers, I'm sure. Making a great deal of noise in this narrow canyon is probably not a safe option to avoid those.
Hey, there is nothing I can do about my ass. I am sorry.
She's right.
You're only gonna make it worse. He's just gonna keep being
Just keeps
louder.
walking.
She's right. The only way forward is to remove Bertie's ass.
I found in these situations, the only way forward is through.
We need to get like some foam and put them between the cheeks.
Baby powder. I do think this entire travel montage, this entire journey has been marked by bickering, like nonstop. It always is. But
How
perhaps
this was
time.
different.
Everybody's like hot and sweaty, and it
Yes.
makes everybody
Yes.
Dehydrated and pissy.
We can't be dehydrated.
At least when we were in the Shiver Peaks, it was so cold that you didn't want to talk.
Yes. Also
Not enough that I
true.
want to complain.
Oh god.
About everything.
Oh, that's funny. Anyways, we're going through the fucking canyon.
You are, and it takes some time. Eventually, you round a sharp bend, and it kind of goes through like an S curve. And as you find yourself turning westward again, you see that your path forward, while the canyon itself widens out, it is obstructed by tremendous thorny vines that kind of snake into and out of the dry red stone of the floor and the walls of the canyon, even going so far as to form what looks like an impenetrable hedge with a deadly looking spiked canopy kind of concealing the ground beneath. It's almost like a dome of thorny hedge with like just massive vines, like 5 feet thick, with thorns like 3 feet long.
This is in the canyon?
In the canyon, kind of stretching side to side. And you see these, like, some of these things have erupted from the sides of the walls out of the stone and are like burrowing into the ground and coming back up again and all twisted together.
Yikes.
Except for the stream, which passes into it in what looks like a single opening about 10 feet in diameter, and the stream just kind of passes into that and disappears into darkness inside this area.
Can A2 and I just try and firebolt the fuck out of it?
Yeah, you guys start slinging firebolts. They slam into these, and I mean they're like 5 feet wide.
Oh, I misunderstood
They're
that part.
huge. They're like the size of redwood trees, but they are big vines.
Okay.
4
My bad.
foot
I thought they was a
thorns.
bundle of like thick grapevine
I was
kind
gonna
of thing.
say, I mean, I
Yeah.
have.
My bad.
These
My
are these thick,
bad.
and they're all like braided together to form.
I mean, I still
crazy
try.
thick wall.
but-
Yeah, you
It's a
see that
literal
it does
wall.
like burn them and
I now
scorch them,
understand that it's
but
not
they
a good
are-
idea.
very large.
Hmm.
And you watch as the last couple impact, there is a slight sort of shifting and groaning, almost like the flex of muscles beneath flesh as the vines sort of twist and tighten.
Okay, maybe that was a bad idea, but now we know that it's more alive, like Katri.
Yeah, this is definitely like evil arcane stuff, right? Like this does not seem.
Oh yeah, detect magic. Is it magical at all? Is it just natural?
I would say that with detect magic, you get the sense that there is no spell involved here.
Mm.
But because of your wild magic history, the nature of your exposure, I would say there is a familiarity here. There is definitely the taint of draconic, corruptive magic.
Yeah, it's not like a natural magic like you or I use, but it's something's not natural.
I have a sneaking suspicion this thing emanates from the same place that we're going to be headed.
Maybe I just knocked on the door.
Maybe it'll just come out and want to like parley with us or something. And
Everybody likes a good chat. We're very communicative.
I mean, if we're lucky, maybe they'll just be like ass people, and then
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta yell into the cave to know that there's bats in there. So,
Oh God.
That's
that
what my
is-
mom always said.
Did she?
Yeah, are we mentioning one more night? I gotta
Wise
do some
woman.
laundry.
Oh yeah, we'll mention. Don't worry. I mean, as long as we don't, encounter a dragon, and that forces us to.
I don't want to
No.
fight a dragon with. Yeah.
I guess it's into the stream? Question mark?
Yeah. So is what you're drawing right now like the wall there, Ryan, and then this is like
I'm
the stream?
kind of like trying my artistic.
You're doing a good
rendition
I
job.
like it.
It's
I
really
like
good.
Wow. Yes.
I was like,
I
these
think this
noodles
should
are
be a
providing me
permanent
with
addition.
excellent reference.
So like
The
there's a
shading's a little rough, but
Yeah, there is no forced perspective. I mean, there's an attempt with the canyon wall, but
Oh,
I'm gonna say
with
the last time I arted in high school, I tried to draw a vase, drew a penis.
I kept trying to draw a penis and drew a vase. And
Right.
we have the opposite problem.
That's so weird.
Gift and a curse.
it's really
Um,
unfortunate.
Yeah, so this braided tangle of vines, like it erupts from the ground. You can see it coming out of the canyon wall into the ground, up again, all sort of braided together, and it kind of rolls back, forming a. It's not a dome, but it's like covers from the top all the way to the ground, except for this 10-foot wide opening that the stream flows through.
I think since we're about to go towards the jungle, Galatar will take a moment and just kind of offer, just kind of to the side to Kate and Kitri. I don't know. I know Kitri's mentioned before about having like bad dreams or feeling like something has tried to communicate with her from the nightmare. I do have the ability to potentially close your mind off to such things. If either of you would want that or be particularly worried about it, I could do it now and you would be safe from any dangers, hopefully, that might try to invade your mind.
Kate says,
I appreciate you offering. I think though I might try to, I guess, decline for now. I somehow feel like it might be better to endure that in the hopes of like maybe it will help us find where we're going better.
Kate just kind of turns back and says, "It is a very noble gesture. I do appreciate it, but I agree with Kitri. However, do be on your guard." She ching, pulls out both of her daggers and kind of rolls her shoulders a little bit.
Pretty just like, we'll just loot up.
Yeah, I guess. Do we need to like?
Yeah, I'll pop my safe at this point.
Yeah.
Which I just realized A2 doesn't have.
Oh no.
She's really gonna die in 2 hits. It's gonna be great.
Woof.
The AC of what, 10?
Yep. 50 hit points.
Leave your fucking robots at home. God damn.
Cannon fodder.
I mean, look, I'm not a really great caregiver. I have a feeling when she's gone, probably won't make another.
Look at it. She's got fucking sand in every single gear. You can
Look,
see it.
I told you, it's really hard to take care of another person. I'm I'm never gonna have kids. If this is what it's like, this is a
Wait.
quick and easy answer.
So A2 can't like just take care of herself in that way?
I
Like
mean,
you can't
she
just
can,
tell her to do it?
but I have to tell her and like sometimes individually. I can't just be like, clean yourself. She just might go.
Oh, and you know she's
I
doing
had to
it
be
just
like,
to be a
brush the
smart
sand
ass.
She's
out.
absolutely just being
Well,
a sniper.
Look at who she came from.
It all makes sense. She's very intimidating. Oh, go ahead.
For our purposes, I think this, if we're going through the stream tunnel, is that what we're thinking? Into the weird
I think
briars?
That's the only way.
Yeah.
Unless
so.
we could go up and over, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say for our purposes, this is fine, but for like the pact forces, if our
Oh.
goal is
I
I can't imagine being like, all right, guys, like they'll probably have to go up on the flat part.
I think
That
we're
is
gonna
a
have to clear
bottleneck.
all this out somehow.
That's possible. This is
I don't
really
think they
quick.
can climb these walls. That's gonna take forever.
Okay.
Well,
How
with
far
those
is
thorns,
it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Tanks don't really climb, so
What if we? What doesn't climb?
tanks.
They got tanks.
The Char siege engines.
Yeah.
they got tanks.
Bertie, you
Well,
saw them.
frankly, okay, hold on. What the fuck? If they have tanks, what are they? They don't need our help getting through some vines. They're gonna be fine. Send the tanks through.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was gonna say we could put some, like, I could, create some ropes or something and drape them down over the edge so that we can climb up and out. But that would
the
take
only
a while.
way in isn't the cave necessarily, right? My mind palace, as you all know, is not great. But
There is a drawing on the screen, so.
well, this is a different. I'm mind balancing somewhere else, different real estate. I don't want to talk about it anymore, Alex.
Oh no, I want to know.
No, I what are you gonna say?
They just go over. They don't have to traverse through the tunnel.
Yeah,
or
how
through
long
the canyon.
can we build like a rock bridge over it? Like, we can shape some stones.
Well, anything we build though, like if we take care of whatever's causing the vines, if like the vines recede and they leave a lot of porous places in the rock, it could all just fall down anyway.
Oh, damn it, Galatar, why do you have to like have science behind you?
Again,
See,
back to the siege engines.
The top of this sort of dome of massive thorns, it reaches up to about a maximum height of about 40 feet.
Okay.
And it's
That's a
pretty
lot of stone
straight up
shaping.
and down wall at the front of it, so
How deep does it extend?
you can't see from where you are.
Keytree, could you take a look? Maybe it's like a bird or something. See how far this thing runs. If it's just like
I will say, looking in that direction, you can see like the canyon walls where you're at sort of widen out to this point, and then behind this, you can see in the distance like the canyon walls kind of come together, and there is another like narrow opening. But I would say from where you're standing to where the canyon walls come back together, looks like maybe 300 feet.
Okay, but we're not going to be able to get rid of that then. That's 40 feet tall, 300 feet deep. There's no way. I mean, so
This is the canyon walls that you can see to kind of judge the distance of the open space. You're not quite sure if the vines go all the way.
I can give
but they
Traherne
are
a message real quick and let
covering.
him know.
I think we just have to go in and see what's going on.
Yeah, I think Cola's
Backtrack
right.
a lot.
I think the
Keith,
siege engines can get
Do we
through
tell
this.
Traherne? I mean, obviously, yeah, we move on.
How
but-
far behind us are they? Does anybody know?
Days, right?
You messaged them yesterday evening,
They're a day
and
behind us.
they were about a day behind you.
I see.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and message Traherne just in case something would happen to us, Alexa, so at least
Mm,
they know they can be coming up on this.
good point. Yeah, so I'll send send a message to Traherne. I need a little bit of sleep after being in a hotel. I will say, hey, we're getting ready to head into a dark, scary, spiky vine cave. If you don't hear from us again, probably don't come this way.
Bodes well.
A couple of seconds go by and you hear, well, yes, well, do be careful. We're on our way, following Kate's markings. About a day behind. That's all.
So can Kitri fly up and see how deep these vines run? About like a guesstimate, or
You
somebody who
certainly
can
try,
fly?
yeah?
Or Brina, you got fly. Brina, you got flying shoes.
Holy shit! I do have flying shoes.
Man,
Me
these
too,
character
buddy.
sheets.
Man, it's not
Getting
like there are words printed on them that have like
crazy.
meaning and
Little
value.
bird, I'm just a gal. Yeah, how high can you go with these flying shoes? These
I
newfangled
think you can
winged
fly for up
boots.
to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like in, I don't know how it.
I mean,
Well,
you
it's
get the
straight up, you can
stratosphere.
fly.
Yeah, it's you go to space.
Each using a minimum of 1 minute for the. Oh shit!
That's what I
This
thought.
is really
you use
scary.
them in like 1 minute intervals. So yeah, you,
Oh,
you can.
Crazy because she had these, she gave them away, she asked for them back, and now she's reading what it does.
Alex, please, not so loud. Alex, please. Lower your voice. Lower your voice. Anyways, yeah, I, a person who can fly, would like to fly and see how far it goes.
Sure. So Brina
Watch your
lifts
fucking
off from the
nose.
ground, looking out as far as she can, and Kaith turns to Birdie and whispers, "Could she always do that?"
Yeah, she honest to
Get
God
about
just forgets. Like, I don't know. She...
80 or 90 feet up, you could see over the top of this thing that the vines themselves form a. It's not like a dome. It's not a perfect geometric shape, but this canopy of impenetrable vines extends, maybe like 150, 175 feet, maybe. And then there's
Okay.
a brief space behind it. Yeah.
So, how deep do these
I
go?
do a flip and come back.
About like 150 to 175 feet.
150. There's no
maybe
way we're carving
200.
through 100. There's no way we're carving through that.
No, I think this is a packed
I
problem.
will say, as you land again, Brina, you hear Birdie. It's like, no, it's just like total object impermanence. Like if it's not right in front of her, it does not exist.
Did you guys know I could fly? Woohoo!
Yeah.
Anyways, that guy goes like 175 feet. Kind of a
Yeah,
dumb,
there's
but
no
not
way we're
really.
carving through 40 feet high, 200 feet deep.
No.
I still think we should go in there.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's the.
Follow
I
that.
think
Yeah.
I think everybody just gets to.
We all want to go in the dark hole.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Maybe-
debate ourselves to
Go in
death.
the
We should just go in.
Here's an idea. Maybe we tie off and stake into the ground a rope at this end. I can make like a 200-foot rope, I think. Maybe.
And
How many square feet of pigments would it take to make a 200, or do we have 200 feet of rope? Question.
I have 150 feet of rope.
I think I have a little bit of rope, maybe. Just
have
kidding.
some.
I don't
I
know.
will say like the stream at your feet is like a foot deep.
Oh, I thought
is
it was
a
like
shallow
a.
stream. It's just running
I thought it was
very
like
fast.
a stream. Okay, yeah. Well, fuck. We'll just lazy river this.
yeah, we can walk.
Yeah, you can easily.
I mean, I'm
wade.
not getting my ankles wet.
Yes.
This is like almost up to my knees.
Oh, that's
Bring-
true for you.
Brina, you should probably take off your fancy shoes. Don't want to get them wet.
She might.
Hover a foot above the ground.
Oh, does Call still have on her thing that like she just hovers?
No.
Ah, dang.
No, I wanted the invisibility cape, and I couldn't wear
Oh.
both at the same time.
Thankfully, I am immune to lava, so.
Well,
You know, that could come in handy.
That's gonna be super big for you. So what order do we want to go and do? Kola and Kate want to go first? Do we want to like have them
Sure.
scout ahead a little bit? I don't know how people want to do this.
I'll go in the second row.
I can go in the second row with you.
Well, yeah, and then A2 can go behind me.
I can follow up the rear.
At least one Alexa will survive.
I'll follow with
Yes. Oh, I hope it's me.
Me too. I
I'm
like you
happy to
better.
take
A2
point
just
with
doesn't
Kala.
clean herself.
She really won't listen to you all either.
She threw a fireball at me the other day. All I did was offer her some bread.
Yeah, they don't eat. They just kind of soak it in.
Gross.
Okay, so you guys start making your way down the stream closer to this wall. As you enter this sort of darkened cavern beyond the outer layer of this hedge, you can see the faint glow of little bioluminescent nodules, only about like the size of a, say like a pine, like a big pine cone, sort of scattered across the walls and some kind of along the border where the floor meets the walls. Inside, as you sort of breach into the darkness, your eyes kind of adjust. You see that there are columns of stone naturally from the floor of this canyon that are kind of upholding sections of this heavy vine ceiling. There are clusters of these green bulbs and pustules all over the walls, and there are curtains of glowing slime kind of stretched between several narrow tunnels. You hear a droning pulse here, reminiscent of a heartbeat that seems to emanate up through the soles of your feet from the earth itself. The air, you notice, is moist and thick with the scent of decaying plant life. Let's see. As you step kind of fully into the space, and you all have dark vision. So the first thing that kind of catches you is a faint, pungent, sort of acidic, like acrid scent. It kind of stings your nostrils a little bit, burns your eyes, almost like you're standing in smoke, but you don't see smoke. There are two large pillars of stone on your left and right, narrow passages immediately left and right of you between the outer wall of the hedge and these pillars, but between the pillars is a wide, about 15 feet of space, opening into a wider chamber. And about 50 feet ahead of you, at the opposite side, standing by another tall pillar of stone, you see this enormous flower. It's like a brilliant orange blossoming flower with petals hanging out, but in the center is a single slitted eye, and it seems to kind of float in the air. Its dangling roots kind of draping beneath it, writhing almost like tentacles. The creature itself is about 7 feet across, and standing on the ground next to it is something reminiscent of a Sylvari. But it has this nightmarish sort of Jack Skellington grin with sharp fangs and thorny protrusions and what look like mushroom growths kind of popping out of its face and its head. As you enter, the giant flower petally creature sort of turns in your direction, and the creature standing next to it turns also, almost in unison.
Cool.
And you
Cool.
hear the humanoid-looking creature say,
What grave delights the master has brought to us. Get them, my precious. We will take them to Fowlin.
Oh, we're too late.
Now, Mary, are you home? Are you good for a battlement? Or would this be a good place to call it for tonight?
This is probably a good place to call it for tonight.
Okay. Let me do a
Can
little
we
bit of
see the
housekeeping.
map just in
Yep,
case?
Yep, that's
Yeah, let's
exactly
just
what I'm
go
gonna
ahead
do.
and put that up
I'm
here.
so afraid of this giant fucking flower. Ew.
So-
Love
Okay.
it and hate it.
Kate,
We already
Kate
made
and
friends
Kala
with one.
took point. Who came in after them?
It was Alexa, real Alexa, and myself.
A2 is fine.
Birdie and I were in
Forgot
the
there's
back.
Copy of Alexa.
And also, Chris, don't forget, Kala has Gift of Alacrity as well.
A2, always for everyone. Okay. I think that'll work. Sorry, who came after Alexa and A2?
No, Brina and Birdie were in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, Brina, Birdie, Galatar, Keytree. So before we do that,
I'm nervous.
Mm-hmm.
let
I
me
don't want to
update
see the giant flower.
my Foundry's going super slow. Give me one moment, please.
I'm afraid it's gonna be like Little Shop of Horrors, but
Right.
It's
worse.
just gonna be dead icons on our character.
Think update the splash art on the loading screen here.
Some splash.
Give
we
me
go.
that splish
Ooh.
splash.
It's what's up behind me.
Whoa.
That's cool.
No,
Oh.
that's what
This is
it
the
is?
thingy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I
No,
hate
so
it.
that you haven't seen yet.
Oh.
Oh,
But this is
okay.
the area you are. You're inside this sort of tangle of vines,
I got it. So right now we're these people trying to survive.
pretty much.
Cool.
Let's
Oh,
pull
is
you
it? How
in.
big is it? How big is this flower thing? Is it like
The flower is
Moving
large.
7
large?
feet.
Okay.
Oh, I am beside Alexa 1. And then Alexa 2's behind Alexa 1.
Oh, look at
Okie
this.
dokie.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's scary.
Ew,
Yeah, that's it.
gross.
Oh, that's super uncomfortable.
Faith is cute.
Yeah.
I don't like that this has such a clearly defined face.
I don't like that I can highlight a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't like how
yeah.
big
Yeah.
some of the highlighted options are. That's a lot of space.
That's a very
Oh
large.
shit! You are right, Jimmy.
Boy,
That
now would be a really
is
good time to have Fireball prepared.
Scary.
Whoops.
What?
Yep.
Well, do you live and you learn?
Fuck. That's gonna be fun.
So yes, we will resume here. We can't do it this Sunday, you guys said. I'll tell you what, let me stop the
Right.
recording. We'll resume here next time
Mhm.
as the Trollskull 6 deals with what they've just encountered.
As we
These
do
are
it.